Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about a Harmor. We're going to be talking about sound design, talking about Reese's, not the candy, the sound. So if you don't know what a Reese is, this is like a drum and bass thing. I know these are all bass videos. That's just because that's what I wrote out first in the little curriculum. Maybe I'll change the way, but I think doing them in groups like this is a good idea. But again, right before I do this, I'm going to make a bunch of different Reese's. I think Reese's are a pretty simple concept, but if you are unfamiliar with Harmor, go watch the Harmor from the Ground Up series. That way you know what buttons I'm pushing and what they do. So here we go. So I have this sound, and I have not made any Reese's yet. So I'm going to just turn down here. And now let's make a Reese. So to make a Reese, it's pretty simple. First thing you need to, I'm going to change the frequency down a couple of octaves. Well, just one. And you just need a couple clones of that and them beating against each other, like, so that they don't line up perfectly. The frequencies will go blah, blah, blah. They'll come in and out of phase, which this is 2 voices. We'll move the phase to be 0. And this is a little bit harder than I thought it would be. All aligned. There we go. And we won't pan it. That's a Reese. And as you get higher up, it increases because the relationships are logarithmic. I keep doing this thing. I feel like that's a good visual of closer together, I guess. I don't know why. But then what you can do is you can increase this more and change it to hertz. All right, maybe not hertz. Let's go into the effects, distort it. For most, that's a Reese. That's pretty much it. That's all there really is to a Reese. Now what you can do is come in here. Unison pitch could be in some interesting options. Prism. Now Prism, you run the risk of getting really weird tuning scenarios if you move this around because you're shifting everything in weird ways. Yeah, it's just a little extreme, you know? Maybe just a little bit. Some more options we have. Of course, these will sound great as lasers, but the idea is they speed up as they get higher, like they're dependent on a ratio. The Reese is usually an element of some bigger bass, like a wobble bass or some sort of like metallic bass or something. And let's see. So yeah, you just get a bunch of interesting stuff. It's pretty easy to just come up with these. That's a Reese. Now I have moved it off center when I touched the distortion. That's another way to do a Reese that I didn't really talk about yet, so let's just talk about this. So another way to accomplish a Reese is you could achieve a similar effect by simply just using a phaser or a chorus at a ridiculous speed. Now, chorus makes clones, so that's similar to the unison, so this is sort of the same thing. But if we were to... So that's an identical type deal right there. Bring that down an octave. Very different feel though when you do it using a chorus. That's pretty dope. We haven't even distorted it yet. That's what's crazy. I'm just kind of moving knobs right now. I'm just counting on you watching what I'm doing, sort of. I'm just applying compression course. Once you've got your idea, that's the thing about this. Once you have an idea of the sound you have, you're kind of looking for things that'll make it unique. So we have a Reese. Want to make it kind of cooler. So. Now you notice because this is not exactly pitch dependent, it does not speed up when you hit higher frequencies. It's relative to this. So I might still introduce a little bit of a detune type deal right here. Now, another way we could make a Reese. Let's do one more. And so that Reese maybe isn't quite, that one's not quite done. But you could have a sound. You go activate part B and turn it on. And this is with, you know. That's basically a Reese. Well, we may want it a little less extreme. That's a little less extreme. That's a true Reese. Like, you just get two oscillators and move them slightly off from each other. We could combine all our fancy techniques. So come over here, go to the unison pitch, do something like that. We're getting some interesting jazz. I'm going to stay away from prison just because I've got experience with this just being a nightmare when it comes to trying to use it in a song where pitch is important. Okay, I want to do randomness because that's one of my favorite things to touch. And then let's come over here to the EQ. That's pretty nice sounding. Like, that's a thing, man. So that'd be usable. Now with the chorus on. That's a pretty wild looking thing right there too. Let's make it bigger. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's just living its life. We could even make it legato. Turn the glide time up a bit. That's a long, long glide time. I just love, I want to see that on a bigger thing. I love that. So we have 3 Reeses here. You can see they're pretty easy to make. It's mostly about the post. It's probably my favorite one. It's also the most accurate to like what a Reese is. You could of course detune this more and so if you want a faster Reese lower, you just detune it to the appropriate amount. But when you go up higher, your Reese is going to be really fast. So you may consider automating that. So you could arguably have one at 0, right? Write out your notes. I just realized I put that somewhere. I always leave that behind because I've gotten tired of moving it. So you could have one there, and a note there, and you can see the Reese goes away because, well, first we don't have a Reese. So let's say we want a Reese to be introduced. We could create an automation clip for one of the frequencies and do something like that. Now this is you're going to need to zoom in for something subtle. If you want like extreme control over your Reese, this is how you do it. So that's kind of interesting what you could do there too as well. So that's the thing. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Maybe your favorite way to make a Reese. Subscribe. And have a blessed day.
Opposing blows. Reversing.